Welcome to Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. I'm Jonna.
And I'm Kim.
Is that okay?
It was perfect.
Okay, good.
We're not even going to start over. It was fine.
Good. We remembered our own names. It's always a plus. So. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a month since we recorded. But we just recorded an episode, or we just released an episode with Kristen Blair of Vine Yarns. And that was really fun. She came to my house and we had a nice chat. Not an interview, it was a chat. And that was released today, which is actually June 17th.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we're recording early because I think Felicia and Karen have something next week.
Oh, they're going out of town.
Some sort of
some yarn-related
thing.
Business travel.
So we're recording early. And then we're going to have to record early in July as well because we're busy at the end of July. And then we have to record early in August. It's going to be kind of strange. So we'll see if we have any projects finished. But
what are you working on?
Oh, right now? Oh my goodness, out of order. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm actually swatching for my second KAL project. I'm swatching for the Isabell.
It's gorgeous.
And it's mYak Kupa held with mohair. In the first mYak live we did, where we were talking about yarns and patterns, in that one I was wearing Felicia's Isabell, and I've eyed it. What's that noise over there?
So Pearl has a bone to keep her busy.
Oh, that's Pearl's bone. Okay, no big deal.
Pearl's bone.
That's fine. I just heard it. I was like, what is that? Anyway, have fun, Pearl. We're dog friendly. So I was wearing Felicia's Isabell that day. Oh, but as soon as the Isabell arrived in the shop as a sample, I immediately, my eyes were drawn to it and I wanted to make it. So I'm swatching. And I'm swatching like how the neckline is going to be because I wanted to make the top, hold it with a darker mohair. It's still the blue, but held with the darker mohair. And then the other stripes is green Kupa with green mohair and blue Kupa with blue mohair. And I think the black mohair, oh yeah, it was just left over from one of my projects I just finished. And then the green mohair is...
Isabell.
Yes. How do you remember that?
I can recognize the shape of the balls.
The blue is Biche Bouche.
Oh, okay.
The petite mohair. So I'm a little, I do want to make it. I mean, that's what I have ready, and I wound the yarn today, but it feels warm in my hands, and it's a really warm day today, so I might try to find another little summer top, another quick KAL project to knit, because I don't want a big, heavy, it's going to be top down all in one piece hanging on my lap. So anyway.
Today's a warm day in New York, but
yes.
It's supposed to be 69 tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Yay.
Wow, but that was so out of order.
I know, sorry.
No, it's totally fine. I like that. So, we fly by the seat of our pants.
I know, speaking of the KAL, our mYak Isabell Kraemer KAL actually just knit together with us. You can knit anything you want out of any yarn you want. Started June 2nd and it's going through August 31st. So I am making the Dingley Dell, and Kim finished her Dingley Dell, which we'll talk about in a little bit. No. And we are also planning another knit night in July. We're still trying to work out the details, you know, how if we're gonna do Zoom again, or if we're gonna do a YouTube Live, which we don't know how to do, but we'll figure it out.
We just feel bad because Paula has done the technology for both of the lives, and this is really our knit along, so we want to take the bull by the horns and pick up those reins and learn how to do it ourselves. So we haven't decided yet if YouTube is easier, YouTube Live, or Zoom Live first and then do the premiere thing. We don't know. So if you have any suggestions,
we'll figure
tell us.
Also, we want to feature some of your works in progress for the KAL on our channel. So if you can, email us pictures at KTOGW kimandjonna@gmail.com.
Yeah, it's in the show notes.
Yeah,
our email address.
Because I can't even remember our email address. So yeah.
Because if you know, we don't want to just take pictures off of Instagram because we don't really have your permission. And so it's just easier for us if you just email them to us, and then we know whose we have, and then we might not use them all the first day. We might continue to use them throughout the whole KAL. But just, yeah, so, you know, send us a picture, what yarn you're using. You can say, like, why you want it. Yeah, what pattern.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be mYak yarn and Isabell pattern. Even the pictures you sent us, really, we promise.
Bonus points, according to Paula, but
Yeah.
yeah, we just want to knit together.
But we don't discriminate.
Not at all. So
what else?
Do you want to talk about Kevin and Ray?
Yeah, we were so excited because we just found out, well, at this point a couple weeks ago, that they are going to, the Woolen Folk is a new fiber festival. It's the day before the New York Sheep and Wool, which most knitters call Rhinebeck. And last year was the first year, and you and I went before we were kind of thinking we were going to do a YouTube channel, but we hadn't filmed anything. We didn't
take any pictures. I mean, we took a few, just random pictures,
a lot
but
of really
nothing
bad
for the
pictures.
channel. Yeah.
But this year they're starting something called Podcaster Patio, and there's 5 different podcasters invited, and Kevin and Ray are invited. I'm so excited.
It's like, wait, we know them.
We know somebody.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them.
And honestly, our subscribers now are almost 9,000, and I don't think people say, like, you just started this in November. Yeah, we're very surprised, but I really think that fateful day when we bumped into Kevin and Ray at Westport Yarns.
You mean when we tracked them down? We
She tracked them down.
hey.
And they were so sweet. They were already in their car. I know we've talked about this before, but they got out of their car. It was a cold day. They talked to us for a while, and we took pictures together, and then we talked about them on our next video, and then they talked about us. It was really sweet. They actually, when they got home that day, they sent us a
screenshot of them watching us.
They were
on
having
their
a
TV.
lunch date,
Yeah.
watching us. It was really cute.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kevin and Ray, because our little bit of success we've had so far is really in a large part due to you, because now we're really good friends with the Knitting Posse too, and they heard about us from you. So we're really, really, really grateful, and we got to hang out again.
And I just love how this community is really collaborative, and everyone's promoting everybody else, and there's no competition at all.
Right.
So it's been really nice.
Yeah.
Especially to get to know, Kevin and Ray and the Knitting Posse, but also Kristen. So
yeah,
that's
it's
been great.
Really, really fun.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit more about Kristen from Bull and Vine Yarns and her yarn in a little bit.
Yeah. And it's already passed. Once things are past, they're old news, but Worldwide Knit in Public Day. It was honestly, who knew that was a thing?
Which I did, but kind of by myself.
I think I first heard about it last year.
Yeah.
You told it, and I didn't do it. And then you were driving to Massachusetts for a family event. So you knit in public at the event?
I did. I got out my knitting needles, just put in a few stitches and took a picture. But
and then I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go down in the center of the little town I live in. And I actually there's a local Facebook moms group for that town, and I posted on there. And one woman came, and it turns out I knew her. At first I didn't realize I knew her, but I knew her. I didn't realize from her name. And so I sat there with her, my friend Elise, and my daughter Elena, and my granddaughter Harper. And so we might put a picture in here, but it was really fun. And actually when we got there was a band playing, and I said it was just for us, but no, it was really fun.
And I was at the gym, and Jeannie said, I saw Kim sitting on the corner in Chappaqua knitting.
It was really funny. Yeah. Hi, Jeannie.
Yeah.
We love Jeannie.
Yeah.
Anything else? I think that's it. I did want to say, I wanted to mention the knitting
Well, you mentioned
song.
that. I'm just going to, I cannot, I'm at a bad place, so I just need to.
Okay, you focus on your knitting.
Okay, I just need to look.
Because it's either like, do we fake knit while we're talking to you, or do we really knit? And we really want to knit with you.
I actually cast this on during our live cast on, and I did not make a mistake.
It's amazing.
I can't believe it,
Yeah.
because we can talk about the pattern in a little bit, but this is not, it's not social knitting for me yet.
No, you'll memorize it eventually.
Yeah.
So what was I going to talk about? The knitting song. So I don't know if you've noticed, but during in the intro and the closing of our episodes, we play this song called The Knitting Song by Sophie Madeline. And then for our mini-sodes, we play just a random YouTube copyright-free song called Esther's Waltz. Love both of the songs. But for the knitting song, way back in the beginning, we contacted the record company because it's a copyrighted song and got permission to use the song. And since then, they've continued to give us permission, both Extra Mile, is that what it's called? Extra Mile Recordings, and Orchard Music is the music distribution company. And we're shocked. They continue to give us permission to use the song, and we're just so, so, so grateful. So please, we always have the link. Usually during the intro, I put the link. Now I learned how to do it. In the intro, there's like a little a link to the song, and so you can stream it. Orchard Music provided, or maybe Extra Mile Recordings provided, a link for streaming and purchasing. But I hope you guys love the song and listen to the song as much as we do. We really, really, I love the song. When I hear that harmonica play,
Right.
it's funny because my mom.
Some people comment in the comments,
Yeah.
oh, when I hear the harmonica come on, I get so excited. So, you know, now we are kind of associated with that song. So
It's funny too because I can be in my own house and all of a sudden I hear that song, and I think, is my mom watching an episode?
I know.
It's so funny.
I know.
But
Wow.
anyway, so yeah, we're very grateful for Sophie Madeline, Extra Mile Recordings, and Orchard Music for allowing us to continue to use the knitting song. And I think that's it. Now we can get into the meat and potatoes.
Okay.
Right? We didn't run out of time? I'm laughing because when we filmed Kristen's thing, you know, every time I think I push the button, I'm in charge of pushing the button. So when
It's a lot of pressure to push the button.
when the button doesn't get pushed, we record 20 minutes. We think we're recording 20 minutes. And then I go to turn it off and realize I didn't push the button.
I know.
So, oh gosh.
Which
Yeah.
is fine. It's just that sometimes we can't remember what we talked about and what we didn't talk
I know.
about. So, yeah.
Like the first time it doesn't matter because we don't have a script anyway.
Right.
But then the second time you're like, oh, but what I said was so...
I know, we liked that part. Oh, well.
Oh, well, it turned out fine
It's
anyway.
okay. Yeah.
But it is still going. So, do you want to talk about what you're wearing first?
I do.
Go.
This is my April cardigan by Petite Knit, and I'm really proud of it. Let's see if I can put this down. I'm proud of it because it's really finished well. You know, I feel like it looks like I could have purchased it.
It looks store-bought.
Which is high praise, right?
Absolutely.
for any knitter. And it is made out of Sandnes Garn Sunday, which is, this is all I have left, of 4 skeins of this and 4 skeins of the mohair, which is also Sandnes Garn in the tin silk mohair. And this was Baby Blue Eyes, and this is Dark Blue Sky, I think. And this is the yarn specified in the pattern. And I was really happy with this yarn. I think this is $9 a skein, and maybe this is a little bit more. So it was really reasonable. I think I spent less than maybe $80. And there were no knots in this. There were no, kind of overspun or underspun pieces. It was very uniform. I was really happy with this, and I would definitely use it again. So, that said, it is a top-down cardigan, as you can see, and it's knit flat back and forth. Everything I've knit lately has been back and forth, and
Yay!
Kim knows I don't love to purl, but you know what? I wanted a cardigan. I just want something to be able to, put on and take off quickly when I get too warm, which I'm not too warm at the moment, so I'm thrilled. And it has, we were talking with Karen and Felicia earlier, a saddle shoulder. I don't know if you can see it, but Kim will put in pictures.
We'll take pictures.
Yeah, so
It
this
has
is
like
a shoulder.
strip going
It
down.
does, where you're not making increases, but you're making increases on either side of it. And then one part about this I didn't love was I was making increases on both the right and the wrong side. So that was a little bit challenging. And we're going to talk about increases here in a little bit, I think. It'll probably come up when we talk about the Dingley Dell. And then there's a little bit of raglan increases, just kind of traditional raglan increases underneath the armpit. I'm happy. I'm really proud of my armpits.
You showed me. You posted a picture of the
I
armpit.
know.
It's beautiful.
And I don't know, half the time it's just luck. So
We'll really have to try to get a picture of that.
yeah, there was no special technique or anything, but pretty armpits. I'm happy about that. Yeah, so and just back and forth. I did the sleeves in the round. I actually went up in needle size. I used my small circulars, so I used a size 7. So the body's knit on a size 6. I think I did size 4 for the bottom ribbing. And size 7 small circulars
And
for
why
the
did you go
sleeves.
up a needle size?
I probably didn't have to. A lot of times when I'm knitting small circumferences, my gauge gets tighter.
Okay.
And so I just didn't want there to be an obvious gauge change on my sleeves. I don't think that there would have been, but it's fine. It looks great. There are decreases that I made underneath the arms per the pattern. I really
used
knit
little
it.
light bulb markers.
I did,
like
and
you the
I
other
did
time.
one sleeve, and then as I did the decreases on this sleeve, I took the light bulb marker off of this one and put it on this one, so I didn't have to keep counting how many decreases I made. And I made it to pattern. The sleeves fit perfectly.
Perfect length for you. I
I
love
know. And I really wanted to choose, this is the second size, I think it's a small. I wanted to choose, a little bit less ease than I normally would because I wanted it to, I have a big pink cardigan that, you know, was like 3 sizes too big for me, but I wanted something kind of, you know, tailored.
More tailored,
that
yeah.
fit me.
It'll be so cute with your little dresses.
My gauge was spot on. I'm thrilled with the size. I can button it. And I originally put these real shell buttons on, but I don't know, the bling got me. I came to pick up every stitch and
the
bought
petite
the
knit sample, one of them has rhinestone
the
buttons.
rhinestone buttons, and I think the buttons cost half as much as the sweater. But,
they're so gorgeous.
Okay. Yeah, my husband actually loves the blingy buttons, so
I love it. Were you going to talk about the?
Yes.
Okay, do it. The button bands. It's one continuous thing.
It is, and so you start at the bottom and knit all the way around, and I think it's about. I think the pattern said, you know, pick up, it's 350 plus stitches.
Wow.
I got close to that. I was in the neighborhood and I had an odd number of stitches, so I just went with it. I wasn't going to, you know. I actually counted stitches and put light bulb stitch markers so I could see that I was picking up about the same number of stitches in each region of the sweater, so that I knew that I hadn't picked up a ton of stitches in the front half, you know, the left half, and then not enough on the right half. So it was fine. It was close enough. So I knit this ribbing on a size 3. I probably could knit it on a size 2, but
it's
so
beautiful.
if I picked it up with a size 2, maybe the ribbing would have been a little bit tighter. But
I love it.
Anyway, when I was binding off, so it's got a tubular bind off on all the sleeves everywhere. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to have a 12-foot piece of yarn on my needle. And I was in the car and, you know, having the mohair and the yarn, we're going to run out of time.
Okay.
I was just worried it was just going to be a big old tangled mess. And then you sent me a video about doubling up the yarn, and I tried that, but it was just a
really
lot
bulky.
of yarn to get
really
through, and I didn't want to stretch out any of the stitches, and so I abandoned that. And I just roughed it, and you know, it ended up being fine. I really
just
didn't
had
have
a
any
really
major,
long tail and just
really long tail.
pulling it.
You know,
You
it was
must
just
have been
a lot,
so happy when you were getting near
a
the
lot
end.
of pulling. But it's funny how your brain kind of thinks about things while you're sleeping. And I woke up in the morning and had a brilliant idea. Of course, I had finished binding off, so I couldn't implement it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So can you tell us after we take a little break?
I can.
Perfect timing.
So yeah, so I had to do the tubular bind off, and I was going to have this, like, you know, they say to use 3 to 4 times the length of your bind off as your tail. So I had this, like, you know, 10 to 12 foot tail of yarn, and it was yarn and, you know, mohair, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a big tangled mess. And you had sent me a video about doubling up your yarn, but it was just too bulky. I didn't want to stretch out the stitches on this edge. So I just managed my yarn fairly well, and we had no big tangles or anything, so I managed to have a little bit of yarn left over after the bind off, and it worked out great. But I had this idea. I guess I woke up in the morning, was making coffee, and I had finished the bind off, but I thought, what if I just left a tail on this end, and I cut a length of yarn maybe 6 feet long, and I started my bind off at the back of my neck and went down one side and then left a really long tail. So leave like a 6 foot long tail and use the first 6 feet to go down this way, and then thread my needle with my tail and then do the tubular bind off down this way.
I don't know. Has anybody ever done that?
I know.
And you thought of this after you had already finished it?
Yeah, so in theory,
you were making
I think,
coffee.
You know, maybe possibly. Oh, hi, Pearl. I was just doing. I just could not think of a way to avoid that 12 foot long tail. But in the end, it worked out fine.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I love it, and I'm thrilled. Even though it's 89 degrees outside, it's nice and cool in here. I'm thrilled to be wearing it.
Thanks for having the air conditioning on.
Yay!
Yeah, it's really fun. So that's it?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
What are you wearing?
I am wearing my first Dingley Dell. Not that I'm going to make another one, but maybe I will. So let me get my piece of paper because I'm so bad at remembering things. So yes, I cast it on actually before a cast on party because I wanted to be able to talk to people. And like you said, I actually did I get to where, oh, I didn't even get to where I wanted to get. But by that time I had wanted to get to the join, but I wasn't there. But by then I had memorized it, except I did make one mistake. Oh, yeah. And I don't know if it was that night, but I left it. I just left it. And it's right in the front. I'll tell you what it is anyway, but I'll insert pictures, and maybe I should have people try to find it. But I don't think you'll ever find it. No. To me, it's obvious. But anyway, so I cast it on June 1st and raced to try to get to the sleeve separation. So I was pretty far into
one day?
The V. I knit fast. And this is now my full-time job. I don't have a full-time, right before COVID, I retired from my 20-year teaching job at a nursery school. And now that we started the channel, this is my job. So I have time to knit. So anyway, so I started it on June 1st, and now what's the date? June
17th.
I finished it yesterday, right? Yeah, because I just blocked it. So it took me like 2 weeks. Please don't worry if with the knit along, you can just even get started in the 3 months. A lot of people's schedules are different, and your project even, if people are making a ginormous shawl, they might not be done by August 31st. So this is a short sleeve, pretty simple pattern, and I just knitted it up really fast because, like I said, I don't have a full-time job. And I knit fast. So I love my Dingley Dell. It's obviously in mYak, Baby Yak, and Silk. The colors are Samsara and Dakini, which I've talked about before. What did I write here? Oh my goodness. I swatched, and I used a US 7 to get gauge. The suggested, I know what that means, is a US 4. And I knitted the size 4. And I can't remember what the finished measurements were supposed to be, but I'll tell you what mine are.
I have it right here if you want it.
Oh, do you? So anyway, I knew already if you look at the pattern, right before you even start, it tells you the way the stripes work, and then when you're knitting it, you have to keep track of when your stripes are. It doesn't tell you after the 26th row change colors necessarily, right? Am I right? I'm right.
Yes.
So I looked at her sample, and I noticed that it ended with color 2, so that the ribbing is contrasted with color 1, with your main color. And so I knew I wanted that, but I also knew I wanted to eliminate one stripe at the bottom because I didn't want mine as long as hers, which I'm so happy I did that. And so each size, you start with a different color. There's different colors depending on how big your sweater is. So I started with the opposite color, so I would end with the correct color. So I started with the pink, and I was supposed to start with the orange. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. So I planned that out right from the beginning. That's why it's so important to read your pattern. At least read the first section so that you kind of understand. I really have to process it and make sense of it. So I started with the opposite color. I did the US 7. I did, people have messaged us, I've had to cast it on this many times. I made mistakes in my first cast on. I had to rip mine out at least once. I don't know if I had to rip it out twice. I forgot to do an increase, or I forgot, even though I had read the pattern. So I did cast on, made a mistake, ripped it out, cast it on again. But then it went pretty well. So my mistake is when you get to the V, you do your V increases every 4 rows. And when I got to a certain, I think it was right when I was supposed to start, when was it? Was it when I don't remember. At some point I counted my stitches and realized I had 1 extra stitch on one side. And so the obvious thing is I must have done an extra increase. And sure enough, here in one of these, where there every 4 rows, there's one after 2 rows and 2 rows. So when I realized it, what I ended up doing, I looked at it, you're never going to notice. It doesn't change the slant because it was just that one. I don't even know where it is though. John is going to try to find it.
I can't see it. And she pointed it out to me. So I told her just leave it.
I don't even remember what side
it's
it's
so
on.
interesting. Tell them where the increases are. It's so interesting.
Right. typically they're right on the edge because you're going to pick up stitches for the ribbing anyway.
In which case it wouldn't have shown at all because you're picking up stitches for the ribbing.
Right. But what she does is slip the first stitch, right? Was it slip the first stitch? No. Knit the first, there was knit 2 stitches, purl, and then knit. And so you're picking up between those 2 knit stitches. And then so it's knit 2 stitches on the edges, purl 1 stitch, knit 1 more stitch, and then you do your increase on like the 5th, between the 4th and 5th stitch, right?
Right. So it's so interesting.
And so they kind of like disappear, and then your edge to pick up is just perfect and beautiful. It's not this jaggedy, weird edge. Oh, love it. Love it. Everything about the construction I loved. I love this shoulder seam detail, and then how it splits and opens up for the sleeve cap. It's just all one piece. It just is beautiful. I love it.
And if you can see this up close, her gauge is just so consistent. It's just gorgeous knitting.
Aw, thank you. So the one thing though I love how it joins. I love everything about it. I did not do body increases, which I'm so happy.
Increases?
Yeah, they're supposed to be almost like A-line body increases here.
Obviously I haven't gotten that.
But you know, Isabell is tiny and it's very close fitting to her. Did she lose a stitch marker?
That's fine.
And I tend, as we know by now, I tend to make my garments bigger. I was thinking about that today because this is actually bigger than I thought it would be.
It's supposed to be 44-inch bust, according to the pattern.
Yeah, mine is like 50.
Oh.
So it's maybe I ended up knitting looser than I thought what my gauge was on my swatch.
Well, and did it block out?
It might have. I didn't stretch it at all, but it might have. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it grew a little bit, but what was I going to say? I can't remember now.
The body increases.
Right, I didn't do the body increases, which I'm really happy about. Oh, I was going to say, why do I tend to make my garments big? Because if it's too small, I won't wear it. If it's a little too big, it's just an oversized sweater, and I can still wear it. And again, I'm still getting used to what I like, and so with my Sabella, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Because now I know an Isabell pattern. I know, when I see the pictures of Isabell, she's so tiny, and I am not tiny. So I want to make sure I'm going to wear it. And it's so loose and gorgeous. And
I love the detail here, the increases.
It's so beautiful. Anyway, I'm talking too much. So no body increases. For the sleeves, I literally just picked up the stitches with my contrast color. This was where they were held, and just did the ribbing. I did 1 row with the pink and 1 row of knit so that you don't have the purl ridges, and then I just started the rib because I didn't want longer sleeves.
Is that per the pattern?
No, I think hers has a little more of the pink or a little more of the main color. Okay. And what else? Oh, sometimes I don't go down a needle size for the ribbing. But for this, I did go down a needle size because I didn't want it wavery or anything. And then actually when I did my neck rib, the first 5 rows, I went down a needle size. The next, the remaining 4 rows, I went down another needle size. Oh, really? And then for my bind off, I had the tip of a smaller needle size because I didn't want it gapey at all. And so it just kind of got a little smaller and smaller. It didn't tell you to do that, but I did it.
So some people have commented that the V is very deep.
It is very deep. It's deeper than I thought it would be. But I didn't see any adjustment in the pattern to make it.
So that's how you compensated for it.
Less deep. Yeah, and I mean, it is pretty deep. And I'm wearing a little camisole underneath just in case it slips down a little bit. Ooh, don't want to flash the world.
And so the cast off, your bind off is very firm. So it's really holding that neckline.
Yeah. So one more thing about mistakes. When you're joining the V and doing the underarm thing, you're dividing for the sleeves and the body. You do backwards loop, cast on for those extra stitches, and so I did that all the way around, and then I go back around to then knit the next row, and 1 set of them are twisted, like when you cast on and they're twisted. How does that happen? How in the world does that happen? But you know what I realized? If my needles are there, they're backwards loops. I just took them all off and backwards loops them right there, and then I knitted them.
Okay.
Because it's just 1 strand of knitting. It's not it was just that one strand of
It's
backward
just a
loops.
loop of yarn.
I hadn't knitted it yet. Yep.
Right.
So I just unraveled all those.
Oh, good.
And backwards looped them all. Put
That's
the
good to
marker
know.
in the middle. I don't know how it happened. How did that happen? It's a garment. I couldn't figure out how in the world I got them twisted. Anyway, okay. But I love this. I'm so happy with it.
It's
and
Can I touch it?
yes, touch it. It's so light and airy.
Is it?
Yes, it really is light and airy. Yeah. So, and it matches this fun little
I know.
athletic skirt. It's a skirt. It has shorts underneath. So, just so you know. But I was
You have
wearing
to do your Princess Kate.
Oh, I know, my
sit.
Princess Kate sit
Right.
like this. Yeah, but
I know. I went for the jeans today. I was like, yeah. Actually, made a skirt today.
you made a skirt?
Yeah.
She just flippantly says, I made a skirt today.
Oh well, it's. I've made the skirt like 4 times.
I don't think I've ever made a skirt in
4
my entire
times.
life.
I
built a
one of
house
those
today.
easy 2-hour easy new look.
Oh,
patterns.
gosh.
Yeah, and I've made it 4 times, but I didn't have the right zipper, so yeah, I couldn't wear a skirt.
Oh, so you were going to wear it? You made the
Yeah.
skirt to wear it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
You're
it's been in my stash. It's been in my queue too.
Oh,
It's dropping everywhere.
dropping things. What was that?
It's been in my queue to knit, to sew for a while because I made that sleeveless top that I wore for our cast-on party, and I wanted the skirt to match, so
Oh,
it kind
right,
of looked
right,
like
right.
a dress. So I thought it would match the sweater, but yeah, but that didn't happen. So
That's
anyway.
okay. It's amazing that you just whipped up a skirt today.
It was nice. It was a nice, calm thing to do
That's
on a day when we're shooting, and sometimes it can be a busy day and running around and doing
I
all
think you
kinds
were
of
saying
stuff.
when we got here, Elena couldn't help us today.
Yeah.
She helps a lot with setup and everything. And she wasn't coming, but we were really calm and relaxed
I
today.
know. Seems
Maybe-
like there's less equipment, but there isn't.
Maybe we're getting used to this finally.
Maybe.
I guess that's it. We should take a pause and then we
Okay.
can go into our finished, our
see what we dropped on the floor.
see what we dropped on the floor, yes. So viewers, if you hear the air conditioning, it's necessary today.
Right. It's a warm one.
Yeah, I mean we have garage doors, well not today, garage doors, telephones, air conditioning,
Well,
dog
I even wore
bones.
my hair up because I just couldn't stand the hair on my head.
Oh, speaking of hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. She said she
am-
was bored of her white. It was sort of cream color.
Yeah, I mean it was blonde.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought I would have it all summer because I normally do, but I
I said, how about a light pink?
You did, and that's kind of, I was just thinking it,
Mm-hmm.
and so, and this will fade nicely. She said it'll fade faster, just the
Oh,
kind of
okay.
color she used.
Okay.
Even now, today I washed it for the first time since I got it done, and it's definitely lighter already.
Yeah, and there's a few blonde.
There's a few
tips.
blonde spots
Yeah.
in there, but yeah, so I'm really happy with my pink.
Good.
Actually, I went in that day and I said, can you dye my hair the color of my lipstick?
Oh.
And it's the lipstick I'm wearing today.
Oh, nice.
She did. She did it. Yay.
Because sometimes you just let her choose.
Yeah, I mean, usually I just let her choose.
As long as it's not green. That's
Yeah, I don't want green. I don't want orange either, or yellow. I mean, she wouldn't do that anyway.
Mhm.
I've had rose gold, peachy, blue,
I've had a real dark burgundy before.
a dark burgundy.
Black.
I've had fire engine red. It all started with fire engine red.
For your wedding? Was it
yes,
for your wedding?
Yeah, the night before my wedding, I had
Yeah.
her dye my hair and
Oh
didn't
my
tell
goodness, that was brave.
didn't tell my husband to be. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
What
And he
color
had
was
never
your-
seen me with colored hair.
What color was your hair before?
Just
it was
brown.
red? Oh.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
what made you do that?
Well,
How'd you get the idea?
I've always colored my hair like in high school, in the
Mm-hmm.
80s, of course, you know, everybody was coloring their hair. And so I don't know, I like doing the unconventional, obviously. I like
That's the night before
surprising
your wedding.
people. Yeah, the night before my wedding.
Here
Yeah, I went to
am.
her house and I slept there. I went to her apartment and I slept there and she dyed my hair.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really fun. And so when the wedding was outside, it was a bright, glorious, sunny day. So when I walked around the corner in my white dress and my flaming red hair, it was fun.
I hope someone had a camera on his face so we could.
I don't think they did,
See
but
what he thought.
but it's okay. I think he was in a daze.
Yeah.
Okay, what are we doing next?
Works in progress.
I have another quick 2 finished objects.
Oh, that's
You
right.
don't have any more, right?
I don't.
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't. Go for it.
I do, and I forgot to get them out of here before I turned the camera back on.
Maybe I can figure out where I am in my knitting.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
So, one of them is just my Freya tee because last episode 7, I wore it with just one one flower with the petals on it. And of course, since then I finished it, and I wore it in one of our mYak live events. But here it is. I did decide to put petals on every flower in the sample, and on the pattern it shows them on every other flower. And I decided, if you're gonna go bold,
go big or
just
go home,
all the way. Yes. So I've worn it so many times now, the petals are getting a little disheveled. So I have to like rearrange them, especially like under my armpits. But I love it, and I did have to try 5 or 6 times on a little piece of note paper exactly where I wanted different colors to be, so that I would and I think I'll insert pictures of the finished, and my little piece of note paper is there with my final decision. And I love it. And I already talked about it in episode 7, so I'm not going to talk about it in details. That's basically it. Oh, one thing I did do, if you're going to make this, if you're going to make this, you're supposed to cut this piece of cardboard. I can't remember. Maybe it was 3/4 of an inch. Does that look like 3/4 of an inch? And like a certain amount of inches long. But after making 1 or 2 flowers, it was getting all wrinkly, and I thought it was going to fall apart. So I actually covered it in like box tape. Clear box tape, and that helped it to be more durable to make the rest of the petals. And of course, I got my mohair from France, and it's knitted in, the mane is mYak Kupa, coincidentally, before the KAL even started. But amazingly enough, they're taking Pearl out to use the potty. We didn't even ask for this, but Karen and Felicia decided to make kits here at the shop of bright colored mohair. Maybe I'll take a picture before I leave. Only 10 grams of each, and then you can buy the kit along with whatever mYak Kupa you want to make this. So
That's
if you
great.
want to make the Freya tea,
like Kim made it.
like Kim made it. I'm such a trendsetter.
Yes.
Then contact Pick Up Every Stitch, and you can get these little kits, so you don't have to buy all this mohair and have a bunch left over. You can get these little bunches, and they're going to have a few different color options for the mohair. This is obviously really the Kim version. This one
Yes.
looks exactly like my hair.
Yes.
But yeah, so contact them if you want to make the Freya tea. And I have worn this so many times.
Do you get stopped in the street?
I don't.
Do
New
people
Yorkers
ask?
aren't like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people would ask.
But I tell people, I'm not shy. I tell people, I made this. It's
Oh my
so
goodness,
funny.
that's my husband. She made that.
Yeah. It's funny. No. I mean, we have to be having conversation. I just don't walk down the street and go, I made this, I
Right.
made this, I
No.
made this, I made this. Yeah. But yeah, so that. And then I'll just talk about my other thing really, really fast.
Yes.
I made a ranunculus. So in between my Freya and starting the KAL, I wanted to do something really fast, just instant gratification. So I made a ranunculus for myself. I already had the black yarn. I wore this in the our Kristen Lair video.
So nice.
And the only thing is, I knew I wanted to put mohair. So it's mYak baby yak lace, lace weight, held with Bichet Bouche mohair. The only thing is, you really can't see the stitch definition.
No.
You really can't see the pattern, which that's kind of a
Why
bummer.
is that?
I guess it's just really furry mohair. I mean,
Huh.
it just is really furry mohair.
Right, because the pattern calls for mohair.
Yeah, but just single mohair, right? Not held with another yarn.
No, held with another
Held with a yarn?
Yeah.
I don't know, but this mohair just, and it's black too. Black just doesn't show pattern very
And what
well.
needle size did you use?
Oh, I used what the pattern called for, believe it or not.
Okay.
I knew going into this, I'm venturing into the more fitted garment realm. Again, I don't want things to be tight, but I'm going to make my Isabella a little bit smaller. And this, I knew I wanted it to just skim my body and be cropped for me, which doesn't show my belly button, but just to the top of my pants. So, sorry, I feel like I just inhaled mohair.
Oh no.
So I always still use the original pattern. I've made 7 of them. This is my 7th. And so I'm familiar with it. And so I just changed my needle size to change the size of the sweater. So I used the suggested US 10. I did do the wide neckline but I used a US 9 for the neckline, so it would not be as wide.
Because your green one, the neckline's a little bit
It's
wider.
very wide, and she does not tell you to use a smaller needle for any of her ribbing. So I did use a smaller needle for both the body rib and the neck rib. I did not use a smaller needle for the ribbing on the sleeves because I did not want them to be tight. And just so you know, when you read the pattern, there's a different divide, sleeve and body divide. She indicates if you want to do long sleeve or short sleeve. But when I do short sleeve, I still use the long sleeve body divide. And then I just knit a couple rows, and then that's my sleeve. I don't, her short sleeve, it just kind of looks kind of big and open and gapey, and I didn't want that. So I always just do the long sleeve body divide, and then you hold the stitches, and then I go back and knit the sleeves as long as I want them. So that's what I did. And I did not do, on the sleeves it asks for, what's that, I-cord? I just did ribbing. I just did twisted rib. And so the bust on this is, I'm a 40.5, and this is a 41. So really just 1/2 inch positive ease. The length is 11.5 inches from under the armpit, and the sleeve is only 2 inches. So I did 1 inch of stockinette and then 1 inch of rib, of twisted rib. And that's it.
I think that pattern calls for you to knit, what, 4 inches of body and then the rib?
Oh, right.
3 or 4.
Right. It said to do, why didn't I have this written here? I have it in my Ravelry. It's all in my Ravelry.
Ooh.
I think it asks for, yes. What does it say? It's 8 centimeters. It's centimeters. It's 8 centimeters of rib on the bottom. And I did
10 centimeters.
I did 20 centimeters, yes.
Right.
The body's supposed to be 10 centimeters from the underarm, and then 8 centimeters of rib, and I did doubled it. I did 20 centimeters. So it's cropped for me, because I'm a tight knitter. But I didn't want it super, super short. I would not wear it. So I love it. Yay! It's too warm to wear right now, though. I made myself wear it like once or twice, and I was dying with the mohair in it. It's short sleeve, but it's more of a spring kind of thing. Uh-oh. Did the camera go off? No, I just didn't set that. Just so you know, we have a double safeguard here for the timer. I can look at, on my phone, I can look at the camera running. I have it connected. But also we have a little sand timer.
A purple sand timer.
I forgot to turn it over.
And usually Elena is flagging us.
Yes, she gets up and flags us.
Yeah.
So that's it for my finished objects. Yeah,
Awesome.
not that much this time.
No.
No
Love
toys. Speaking of toys, we have to share this beautiful thing.
Oh my goodness.
We did not knit this, but
I actually
Karen
thought
just
about-
showed it to
I
us.
think I have her. I thought about doing a toy quickly before I picked up my Dingley Dell again, but I resisted. There's a cute little frog. Claire Garland has
I
a cute
saw
little
it,
frog.
like the frog prince.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And one maker made shoes out of leather. They weren't even knitted. They're
Oh
just,
my goodness.
yeah. And a little boater hat. And oh my goodness. Anyway, this doll is named Penny. The pattern is named Penny, yeah? This is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Karen holds a class here for tatting. She made her a little tatted purse with a penny in it and a tatted bracelet. And she's just beautiful. She's so soft. And Karen made her for Felicia. And her hair has cables in it, and it's just precious.
It's adorable.
Yeah, I think I need one in my life.
And did you show them the little knitted underpants that are knitted into the doll? We're gonna show her underpants.
Her dress is knitted flat, so Karen said she did have to do two-sided color work.
But here she's knitted with like wearing little underpants.
Her little bloomers.
Little bloomers. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. The details are just delightful.
And she said it took her about a month, but she only picked it up, for a couple hours here and there at night.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pattern. So that was a finished object, but not ours.
But not ours.
It's Karen's.
She just knows we love toys.
She knows we love to knit toys.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. And what are you working on?
My Dingley Dell. This is my Dingley Dell. All 3 inches of it.
Tell us about Make Ones.
I will. Let me show you the yarn first. And the yarn was generously gifted to me by Isabell, who wanted to participate in our make-along. So,
Nice.
yeah. I originally wasn't going to do mohair because I thought do I need a summer t-shirt with mohair, but I decided I did. So, and I'm not doing the stripes. And my mYak, baby yak and silk is Parvati is the color.
So beautiful.
And I am just loving the way these two colors. Felicia helped me pick this out. And I'm loving the heathered gray and this, I don't even know how to describe this green. The way they're knitting up together. It's just beautiful.
It's like an icy, minty green.
It is. I wanted to say mint, but it's not quite mint.
No, it isn't. It's like, oh, so beautiful.
But I love the natural gray in the yak. It's really coming through, and I'm really, really loving it. So, yeah. And so this pattern had increases on the wrong side, and the Dingley Dell has increases on the wrong side. And because I just finished this pattern by Petite Knit, I didn't even look at the key on the Dingley Dell pattern. So I just thought, oh, make one left purlwise. I'll just do it the same way I did it on here, which is not the way.
I guess I didn't
Turn
turn my focus on.
Oh.
I had it silenced. Oh gosh. Sorry, that was me.
Phone call.
While you're doing that, I better text her and tell her not to call me back again.
And so for the make ones, and I don't know, I think it's too confusing to, anyway, make one left on the knit side. I put my left hand needle from front to back and knit through the back. On the purl side, make one left purlwise. According to the Petite Knit pattern, I was putting my needle in from back to front and purling through the front, which to me was the exact inverse of the increases made on the right side. So it didn't really occur to me that they might be made in a different way, but the Dingley Dell, they are basically, if it's a make one right, it's always back to front, whether you're on the purl side or the knit side. So I was not going to go back and fix it because I honestly don't think it shows. And
but then you went down this rabbit hole trying to figure out which way is better, why are they different, right?
And if they mirror each other exactly or it doesn't really matter. So I was going to make a little, actually I did. I attempted to make 2 little swatches and it just, you know, wrong needles, wrong yarn, that kind of thing. But I do intend to make a little swatch just so I can satisfy my own curiosity about the increases. So I don't love making increases on both the right and the wrong side. That purl through the back loop is really awkward. I do hold my needles as close together, like kind of like chopsticks up this way. But I don't love that stitch. It's my least favorite stitch. So yeah, I'm done with the increases on both the right and the wrong side, so I'm thrilled.
Nice.
So yeah, I love the shoulder detail on this though. It's so pretty.
Beautiful.
So I've started to make the increases for the V, as you can see.
And then those really 2 little back increases on the upper back. Just a few, like 3 of them?
Right here. Right here. Just for fit. I inquired. I was like,
Did
what
you?
are those for? Not from Isabell, but here at the shop. And she said, no, they're just for better fit.
It's amazing.
It is. So I'm loving the pattern so far. It's a really interesting knit.
It is.
Which I appreciate. Yeah, but I have to pay attention, so it's not really social knitting.
But it was interesting when she, by the way, when we did our cast-on party, Isabell was on with us on the cast-on party
like all
the
night.
entire time.
I know.
And it started here at 5 p.m., so she started at 11 p.m. in Germany, and she stayed on. We were on for almost 2 hours, and she stayed on the entire time, and she answered questions. If you want to go watch that cast-on party, it's pinned as the first post on our Instagram page, just talking about it. And it's on the mYak YouTube channel. So you have to go to the mYak YouTube channel, and it's obviously the mYak KAL cast-on party. But you can still watch it just to see, just to hear Isabell talk about her patterns. And one thing I'm hoping, because I'm doing the Sabella, I love the construction of this. And she did say that once she found a great construction, like a design, she modifies it a little bit, but it it works. Why, like, why change it if it already works? So I'm hoping has those kind of similar details. Although that one is completely in the round, because it's not a V-neck. So it starts in the round right away. But the Isabella. So anyway.
And my next project is going to be in the round. I
You're
need
done
a break
with flat?
from knitting flat, yes.
Done with flat.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I had a question, actually. Do I still have time? No, I guess we have to take a break.
Okay.
And then I'll ask the question. So we're back. Good thing I caught that, because the sand timer wasn't on. But I had a question. When knitting in the round, and I guess this only happens when you're going bottom up. So you start with the rib, you have a smaller needle in the round, right? And I use interchangeable needles. I guess the question only pertains to interchangeable needles. Because if you're using separate needles, separate circular needles, you would just start knitting with the new needle. But with interchangeable needles, going from a smaller needle size to a bigger needle size, when do you put that darn tip on there? Because if you try to put it only on the side you're knitting with, the old stitches won't slide back on it. Like if you change it and then try to slide those stitches on, they won't slide on. You know what I started doing? I started knitting with just the tip.
Oh,
and when I get enough stitches on there,
then you attach the cable.
Undo it and reattach it.
Oh, wow.
Does anybody have any hacks for that? I just can't. I can't. I don't know.
I guess that only happens if there's a big difference between the needles you're changing to.
Well, that's it. I'm a tight knitter. So there's,
right.
Even if I just go
I've never had that problem.
No, even if I just go one needle size, I can't get the stitches on the needle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I guess, okay, so only tight knitters answer my question.
Right.
But it's always a dilemma for me. I guess I could put a different cable on the smaller needle and just start knitting, like a cable with a cap on the end.
Right.
I could do that. I don't know, I want the easiest. I'm a lazy knitter, right? I say that all the time. I don't want to have to do that.
She's the least lazy person I know.
Oh my goodness.
Don't believe her.
Lazy knitter.
No.
Okay, I think we're up to my favorite things already.
Wow.
Or favorite things. Not my favorite things. Favorite things.
I had a million favorite things.
So, what's your favorite? What are they? What's one or two?
So I found a pattern called and for some reason I cannot remember. It's the Hakuji.
Oh gosh, let me
What?
see this. Can I look at that? It looks beautiful.
Hakuji, which is a form of Japanese pottery. I got it right this time. And Yuma means dream, right? So Hakuji. And it's a top-down version of a bottom-up sweater that I had previously purchased, but I'll have Kim put a picture in. But I am just craving some cables. I don't want to do color work, but I'm craving some texture and some cables. So
when you do this, I'll do that cable cardigan that you bought me yarn for my birthday.
I can't
We
wait
can do
to
cables
see
at the
that.
same
and
time.
That's nearly my favorite color.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
an
still on a
icy
blue kick, but
still in a blue phase.
Yeah, so I'll have Kim insert a picture, but I just
yeah, just so you know, whenever we insert pictures, we contact the person whose picture where we got it, either their Ravelry, mostly it's Ravelry, and we message them or email them and ask permission. We always put photo credit in the bottom and give them the photo credit. Some people respond and some people don't, so hopefully everybody's okay with that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I love how it's knitted. We'll insert the picture, but it's knitted in speckled yarn. I don't like speckly.
And I think that Felicia carries.
I don't typically knit with.
This is. Oh no, that was such a.
I don't like the unknown of knitting with a variegated or a speckled yarn. Like it just because if you knit a swatch, you're not going to get the same effect as knitting a full garment or a full sock or something.
And that's one thing I love about Kristen's yarns. Is I feel like even though they're speckled or variegated, I feel like they're pretty consistent. And so there's no wavy gravy. There's no.
Kristen is Kristen Lehrer, in case you
from Villavine Yarns. She's having a shop update tomorrow, but this it will have already happened.
Yes.
But
subscribe to her. Is it her newsletter so that you know when the shop updates are? Because she's if you watch our Kristen video, we'll link it here. We'll put it in the show notes. It was the one we just released today. She does this in her basement. It's her. She's one person, so she dyes gorgeous yarns but very small quantities. So once that shop update goes up, people snatch them up right away.
Yes.
I want to get a sold out in a kit.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Every time she posts that, I want one.
Yeah. Hold on, I can't.
But speaking of, I did hop on and buy something from her last shop update.
Oh, let's see.
And I was a little bit late, so maybe like 10:30, 10:40. I think the shop update was at 10 Eastern time.
Oh gosh, like, wow.
I know, a few minutes late.
Actually, she even said in our video that for people on the other side of the world who maybe are sleeping at that time, she doesn't want them to have to wake up. To make it fair, she'll do shop updates at different times during the day so that everybody has a fair chance at buying.
Right. So she kind of alternates between 10 a.m. on a Saturday and then a 5 p.m. on a Friday night. Yeah, so
That's nice.
I got 2 skeins of Wolk, her Wolk base, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon.
In German, that's Wolke.
Volca. Thank you.
No, it's fine. It's just means cloud.
And it is so soft. It is very cloud-like. Sorry for the crinkling. But I'm thinking something for my mom. This is called Dragon Tears. This color is Dragon Tears. And this is, what is this? Dead Calm.
It's also kind of peacocky. She said
it is. She was on a peacock.
A peacocky.
Yeah, she was on a peacock phase.
Beautiful.
So yeah, this came in the mail. So thank you, Kristen.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to mention a book that I am not reading but listening to called The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. And I finished it today, and it's kind of a long read. It's not gripping, but it was a story about a brother and a sister, and I just thought it was sweet. And a house, obviously, the Dutch house. And I adore my brother. He's one of my favorite people in the world. So it was, you don't really come across stories too often of a brother and a sister in their relationship. So it was really sweet.
Especially not like a healthy,
right, and a loving relationship. And it was narrated by Tom Hanks.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which I was able to kind of suspend disbelief and go along with the story.
Oh,
yeah.
Even though you recognize his voice.
Yeah, for sure.
I've gone down a rabbit hole of German TV shows in Amazon Prime.
Oh, because of watching Seaside Hotel. Was in Danish.
It was in Danish, but then during the wartime, there's a lot of German. The German soldiers speak German, and also then that was finished. I'm caught up on that. So then I found either Hotel Zacher or Zacher Hotel. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's about the Hotel Zacher, which is a famous hotel where the Zacher Torte was invented. And that's also...
For those of us who don't speak German, that's S-A-C-H-E-R.
That's the in the back of your throat, like you're clearing your throat.
Got it.
Zacher. And then I found Hotel Adlon, which is just also like a family drama. A lot of these are through wartime, and it's just heart-wrenching. Like I was going to watch part of the new one that I'm watching. What's it called? It's about a little tiny town in Germany that it starts literally the day World War II ends, and within so first the Russian soldiers come to free them, and then the Americans come, and then within a few however long, all of a sudden it's almost like a mini Berlin. This line goes down the center because the Russians, half of it's in the Russian side and half of it's in the American side. And it's just heart-wrenching. So I was going to watch some of it today when I was knitting my swatch, and it just is too emotional. I can't. But it's really fun to listen to the German, and I really feel like it's helping it to come back even more.
For sure.
So, really, really fun.
So, favorite things.
Favorite things, yes. So I have 2 favorite things, and one of them is this beautiful Maker's Train case by Della Q Bags. So when we filmed episode 7, we were packing up to leave, and I have seen them here before, but I asked, my birthday was coming up, so I said, Karen, Felicia, how many of these do you have left? And they had 2. One was orange, and one was, I think, blue, maybe. I don't know. Yes, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, and so I was like, oh my goodness, my birthday's coming up. Elena, because my daughter was here, I would love one of those for my birthday. So, of course, she got the whole family to pitch in, and I got one for my birthday. I got the orange one. It comes with a shoulder strap that you can clip on, which I have not used. but it's just delightful. It has, I use it as a purse. Now it's my purse every single day. Although when my Dingley Dell got too big, I couldn't use it because it wouldn't fit.
Oh.
But that's okay. It's more for like a small project. Or anyway, so you open it up. This is sorry, those are my receipts. It's magnetic, so you can stick stuff on here. And then there's a little tray, and in here I like now keep my keys, my wallet. So if you want to pickpocket me, you know where it is. Anyway, a bunch of little doodads, and then underneath is my knitting. And you can run your yarn through these little gaps on the sides. I can't do it right now. Here, see? So you can run it through there, and then you can put this back in and close it and still knit. Yeah, and it has little legs.
So it's not only cute, it's functional.
Oh my goodness, yes. It's so beautiful. I think it's covered with canvas, like a canvas fabric. And so I heard that Pick Up Every Stitch got a new order. So if you want one, call Pick Up Every Stitch and order one. You know what else I found out after the fact? I think Paula told me that the orange color was made in collaboration with the Orange Lady, Gigi. Gigi made it. Yes. Who will also be on the new podcaster patio at One Folk. Yes, never met her. But she loves orange, so this was made in collaboration with her. So thank you, Gigi, for inspiring this gorgeous color. I absolutely love it. And it matches my Dingley Dell.
It does.
So I love my Gigi made it inspired Maker's Train case. If you want one, call Pick Up Every Stitch. They're going to go fast. And my other favorite thing is a gift from Jonna. I did share it on our cast on party, but that's on the mYak channel. So in case you didn't see it, Jonna got me this gorgeous crochet bag for my birthday.
Well, I walked in here and I said, "What is that? That looks like Kim," because I really didn't know what to get you. I didn't want to get you yarn, so I was waiting for inspiration.
And it's perfect.
And here it was.
I've already used it. I use it almost every day.
Good.
And I guess I looked for a label. Oh, Cadito. They were crocheted for the shop, right?
Yeah.
They were
Turkey? Or did I make that up?
Yeah. They were specifically crocheted for the shop. And I think Paula from mYak has one with a blue edge, right? She got one. So we were comparing. I think mine's better. Yeah. But I love it.
I tried to pick out the brightest one.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
The most colorful.
Yes, it's beautiful. So I love that. Those are my two favorite things. New bags. You never can have enough project bags, right? Love, love, love it. Okay, so we have some unboxing to do, right?
Yes, because we actually got a post office box. Finally. So we got a package.
Yeah, we got two packages.
Yeah.
Well, one came to my house and one. Yeah, viewers have contacted us and asked us to share about things, and they send us things. So you really don't have to, but if you do, we'll share about it, right?
So Laura Gold from Row 1 Yarns asked if she could send us some yarn. And I guess every month she is a yarn subscription. And so every month she picks a different indie dyer and sends 100 grams of yarn in 10 little bundles. So it's like mini skein heaven. This was the first package we ever received in our post office box. So we haven't opened this. There's one for you and one for me. And there is a note.
So exciting. Look at these cute little
Kim
bags.
Jonna.
Yeah, I love it.
I know, I've had this at my house for like 3 weeks and haven't opened it.
I know, she wanted to open it the second it came.
It just talks a little bit about her Carnival of Color Club from Row 1 Yarn, a monthly subscription. She started 6 years ago. I did see other reviews of Row 1 Yarn on YouTube. So the dyers are a mystery, 10 gram minis. And yeah. She does have a discount code on her website, so if you go to...
I think for your first order, you get 20... I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's 20% off.
Hello 20, it says right there.
RowanYarn.com. And you can follow her on
Instagram.
And it's
Row 1. It sounds like Rowan when you just say it. Row 1
ROW
Yarn. But a few different podcasters have shared. She sent them.
Yeah.
It's not just us. She sent different
people.
So
this month, the yarn came from Big Sky Yarn Company.
We'll take pictures not in the plastic so you can see it better. There's some stitch markers and two little candies. Yum. A sticker and a little note. Love it. So We obviously have not knitted with this yet, but if anybody has an idea,
Now that I know what progress creepers are for.
Right. What I can knit with 10 mini skeins of beautiful yarn. And look at the names: Hollow Heart, Don't Stop Believin', Taco Truck. So cute, cute names. It's Big Sky Yarn Company. Yay!
I have grand plans to make like one of those temperature blankets or cozy memories or one of those scrappy blankets. So there's also sock yarn. So
you can do a whole bunch of things.
Scrappy socks.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Laura, right?
Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Gold.
Yes. And obviously once we start knitting with it, we'll give you a little more feedback on that and show you what it looks like knitted up. Okay, so then we also, this is a woman named JJ. She goes by JJ, but for professional business purposes, she's Jessalyn Janice. We'll put it in the captions. So she's a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids and 3 fur babies. She started an Etsy page making project bags for other makers because they're fun little projects she can do while watching the kids. And she donates a portion of each sale to the animal rescue in her town called, how do you think you say that? Kaya Koda Humane Society. It's a no-kill nonprofit animal rescue. So she wanted to send us project bags. And I know, we have tons of project bags, but she said, go on the Etsy shop and pick one out. And I looked, and I just had no idea. I was so overwhelmed. So I said, you know what? Just pick them out for us, JJ. So she did.
Ooh, is that one for me?
Yeah, listen to what she said. She said, wait, where is it? I printed all this stuff. Jonna, I chose fabrics for yours based on your blue period. And also hope you love it. So here's yours.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Look, see? Everything matches.
That's so cute.
It's easy to get dressed.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And then for me, she picked mine. It was fitting for my recent trip to France. Oh, so it's like French Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Cute.
That is so sweet. And it has like a faux leather base.
Oh, cute.
Isn't that so sweet?
Yeah.
And little drawstrings and a
you
beautiful
have
contrast fabric inside.
Your label.
I love it.
Mine's
So we'll
a blue
take
stripe.
pictures. Jessalyn Janice.
These are really well made.
Really well made.
Yeah. Really
And
nice.
then she also, do I have time?
It's got a flat bottom
Just
too.
a couple
which is
seconds. She also sent us a patchwork sock bag to use as a giveaway. So I'll tell you
nice.
what.
Ooh.
Comment on this video, I love that sock bag, and you'll be entered into the giveaway.
Cute.
And we'll do it today. Well, this will air on July 1st. So how about you can comment until July 4th. All right? And then July 5th, we'll post a winner. Okay?
I love the fabric.
So what did I say they're going to comment? I want that sock bag.
I want that sock
You
bag.
can post anything you want.
It's something about a sock bag, and we'll include
Yes,
you.
exactly. It's really adorable.
It is.
So that will be yours. And we'll put all her contact information in the show notes. But thank you so much, JJ.
Thank
They're
you.
beautiful. Thank
I
you,
love
thank you. We're going to take a little break
Beautiful.
before
Okay.
we say goodbye.
Okay. So we didn't talk about the prize, or a prize for our cow.
Right.
That was
right.
donated by Kristen Lehrer of Vine Yarn Company.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so when we filmed, she brought us this beautiful, and it's actually a kit for the Birds of a Feather shawl by Andrea Mowry, but of course you don't have to make that, but it's enough yarn to make that. So it's 2 skeins of her Nouveau base in tourmaline and 1 skein of the Ghost Lace, which is the
Her mohair. Her version of mohair.
silk mohair, yeah. And it's this gorgeous green
So
color.
beautiful.
And I managed to take a pretty decent picture, so you'll insert
Yeah,
that.
I'll insert a picture.
So thank you, Kristen. And I don't know when we're giving this away. We're having another round of giveaways before the end of the cow. So yeah, so thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, so exciting. I think we finally plowed through everything,
Okay.
right? Just so you know, another quick I just want to mention memberships. We already talked about it, but you can become a member of our channel. You don't have to. If you don't become a member, nothing will change. It's all the same content. But if you do become a member, you can support the channel in a new way. And there's little perks you can get. But one thing that happened recently, for the last episode, episode 7, I could not pick a thumbnail. And you were busy. You weren't available. Usually I ask Jonna, which thumbnail do you like?
And I usually just say pick the one you like the best.
Yeah, and I couldn't pick one. And so I literally posted to our members only. Was it, I can't remember if it was all the members or if it was, I don't know. But I posted to the members a few options and they voted. And I'm so happy I did it because they picked a completely different one than I would have picked.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what people like or what's going to make them interested in the video. I have no idea.
And sometimes we post some behind the scenes footage. Excuse me. And then the Pearl 3 members get our videos 24 hours.
Cable 3.
Cable 3. Sorry.
I know. I always do that. It's knit
Pearl
1,
2.
Pearl 2. Cable 3.
Get our videos ahead of time. And
we finally figured out how to make it work this time.
I know. I was like, if you're staying up till midnight to press that button, I'm sorry. I do not condone that. If I'm not willing to stay up till midnight,
the first time we did it, I stayed up till
midnight.
midnight to turn it on and then turn it off, and then it didn't work anyway. So it was kind of annoying. They couldn't view the video. There's all these settings in YouTube, and I must have had the wrong setting on something. It's crazy. But what else was I gonna? There was something else I was gonna say.
Oh, memberships. Obviously, like and subscribe. And actually, while we're sitting here, we're probably crossing that 9,000 subscriber mark.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I checked right before we came, and I think we're at 8,980. So.
And by the way, I think, have we mentioned it? When we get to 10,000 subscribers, we can actually then have like a merchandise shop on YouTube, whatever that means. Do you know anybody who has one?
I feel like Arne and Carlos have one.
Through YouTube?
Mugs and t-shirts.
Right, but we need to like get a logo. Like we don't even have a logo.
I think our logo should just be a pink faux hawk. But
yeah, but that just is me.
I know.
And we can't have pictures of us because that's what Arne and Carlos have, and
I
I'd totally be like copying them.
Yes,
so
I would.
We've been like trying to figure out what kind of logo we would want. But anyway, if you have any ideas, if you have any ideas, send us ideas.
Yeah.
What reminds you of us? Because obviously for a logo it has to be super, super simple.
Well, and you have your flower beetle and...
Right, but that again only represents me.
I know.
It's us. It's knit together with Kim and Jonna.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we've rambled long enough with only a couple of FOs. I don't know how we talked for so long.
I know. Pearl needs to go home and have dinner, so...
Okay, so...
Karen or Felicia won't miss this, right?
Just tuck it in your bag. It's so beautiful.
It is.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. This was fun.
Really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye. Okay. Are we ready for this?
I mean, I know how to talk about knitting.
Exactly. Right?
Hopefully by now.
Where are you? What were you? Where'd you go?
I'm more worried about the sweat than the noise, so thank you.
But if you find a hairpin, we think that's what it was.
Put my lipstick.
Sure, put your lipstick on. I don't even
Actually,
know
just
if
like
we have
lip
any
gloss
bloopers today. It's just been like right down to business.
Wow. Okay. And I love bloopers. My husband likes bloopers. My dad likes bloopers.
They're fun.
Yeah.
I'm still lost, I'm still alone. Who's going to make it right?